People think that the flip the switch moment is a real thing. I'm going to give my unfiltered opinions and thoughts on this topic and show you exactly where I stand. Will XRP have a flip the switch moment or will it not? And if not, how does that look? Some of the stuff I'm about to say on this video will not be on YouTube. I've only just got my channel back. I'm not going to let YouTube take it again. So some of the thoughts are going to be over on Rumble, link in the description. So let's talk about the flip the switch moment. What does that actually mean? At least my thoughts on what that actually means. So just to be on the same page, if you subscribe to the flip the switch moment, which I have entertained the idea, I entertain all kinds of ideas on this channel because it's useful to dive into all of these different angles. It just doesn't necessarily mean I have to believe those things, but I've discussed the flip the switch moment, but never gone into like logical detail about it. The flip the switch moment happens when some entity, whether that's the World Economic Forum or whoever that is, the World Bank, they flip a switch that ultimately says XRP is now being used for all the transactions across the world. The utility skyrockets. Every entity in the whole world understands they need to hold XRP because it is required for their business to send payments. That takes massive amounts of XRP off the market, basically all of it, because it's all needed. And you've got a lower circulating supply, if any, and the price of XRP, obviously with such demand and with such a low supply, goes ridiculously high. The same people that talk about a flip the switch moment as I believe the flip the switch moment are also the people that believe in $500,000 XRPs, $1 million XRPs. They seem to weave into each other. And that's not good or bad, it's just I found that correlation over time. But I just want everyone to think logically about a flip the switch moment. Do you realize what needs to happen in order for that to be the decision that's made? Essentially what you have to have is a complete global market, financial market crash. Everything has to literally go to zero. So far, in fact, that everything would have to go to zero so that the system could be off so you could turn it back on. And the only way you could turn it back on is if, for whatever reason, actually, should we talk about this? This might be a Rumble thing, but we're about to talk about it. For example, in that situation, as far-fetched as you think it is, and I understand it's far-fetched and it's not something I weigh my investments or my time or my energy on assuming it's going to happen, but this is the type of situation required to create the environment where a one world governing body could say, we, as we control all the money in the world, everyone under us as humans has to kind of cooperate, we are going to use XRP. That would be a flip the switch moment. That's a true flip the switch moment. It goes from 0 to 1, right? All the money in the world goes through XRP. World crashes, we're on 0, actual 0, internet's even off, electronics are off. We all have to band together, flip the switch, now it's on. Now, how likely do you think that is? I just personally don't think that situation is very, very likely. So I want to propose a rational side of thinking, which can include flipping of switches, but it's more on the logical side of things. It's not conspiratorial, it's based in the facts of what we've seen, the timelines we've been given, and I think it's a lot more based. I think this is a lot more based opinion. So before I get into that, of course, if you enjoy this video, you might want to see the unedited, unfiltered version on Rumble, but I'm also taking this topic to x.com so you can follow me there as well. So when I look at the way things are playing out right now with Palau that have started to use XRP, you've got SBI holdings that have started to use XRP. I want to look at the capacity in which they've started these things and the way in which these partnerships with Ripple have been made over time. And it's very much not a flip the switch moment, it's very much gradual. So when we get these big partnerships, like let's say the Bank of America partnership, right? If history tells us anything, recent history, is that Bank of America won't just flip the switch and then they're using XRP, right? It's not like that. It's not like all payments now for Bank of America are using XRP, it's all done. That's not how we've seen it happen with SBI Holdings, for example. SBI Holdings have said, we believe in XRP. In fact, Japan is one of the biggest proponents of XRP. We believe it so much, you would expect that they would just flip the switch, but they haven't flipped the switch. They've said, okay, we've got 4 payment corridors that we'd like to use it on for very specific remittance payments. This isn't something that they go out to market just wild. It's all XRPs, like XRP right now for everything. Let's go. I wish that would happen because that would create such a hype and a demand for XRP. But it's just in reality, that's not how it goes. So how it goes is we like XRP. Let's use it in this limited manner. We know it's going to work, but we do need to test this. We can't just go ham with it. So we're going to test these 4 corridors. And then once those 4 corridors have had some proof and testing, I would imagine all of this testing that needs to happen will happen before the end of 2025, the beginning of 2026. Then they say, okay, this works on these 4 payment channels for remittances. Maybe we just increase it so it's not just remittances in those 4 payment channels and we expand it out more. So it's like, you know, all the money maybe between those payment channels and then between those payment corridors. And maybe they say, well, let's add 10 more countries to that, right? That's how they do it. We've seen the rolling out like that. We've seen that it's not a flip of the switch moment. And it may be on the chart. It may be a bit like that, like the stepping stairs theory, where you have a range of multiple like little candles, as flip the switch moments. I don't think it even will look like that because within those steps, you'll also have the fluctuation of that day for all the customers all around the world using XRP in different levels of volumes and velocities and different values. So even on this stepping stairs one, it's still not going to be straight and straight and straight and straight. It's going to be like, you know, it's like going to waver around in there. When I look at new partnerships, let's say the Bank of America, I know that's not a new one for a Ripple, but MasterCard even, for example, they're not just going to open it out completely for the whole of MasterCard. They're going to say, okay, MasterCard for these very specific corridors, for these very specific payments, we're going to test it out, see how it goes. And over the next 5 years, we're going to get to a point where we have full confidence in the technology and we can roll it out everywhere. Now, bear in mind, that's where I think it goes. I think it gets to that level because ultimately the best technology wins in the end. It's the way it gets there is this massive piece of conversation, this massive like thing of where everyone's kind of angry at each other. But ultimately, the destination is the same for all of us. I wouldn't say necessarily all of us. I made a whole documentary about the price of XRP. It's my most successful video ever on this channel. It also had the most amount of effort put into it and the most collaboration. So you can click the I in the top right of this video to go and have a look at that video. But it'll show you the range of price predictions that there are between a whole series of people that ultimately agree that XRP is going to take over. It's fascinating. So you've got everywhere from like $8 all the way up to hundreds of thousands of dollars, when both sides of that scale believe that XRP is the one, you know? But there's such a wide variety of calculations on how to kind of see where XRP is going. Be interested to know like where you align on all of that. So just to be clear, I do not believe in a flip the switch moment where XRP goes from where it is today to the maximum value you can imagine. I just don't think that happens. I've given all of my reasons in this video, but I want to know what you think. Where do you stand on this? And don't just tell me where you stand with the one word. Tell me why you think that. Do you resonate with the more exciting approach where the world essentially collapses, we all band together, and the big entity on top basically flips a switch and XRP just is the one? Or do you go to the more based and logical side where these companies slowly roll out XRP over time and that's the way it will continue? Let me know in the comments of this video. So that's all I have for this video. I thought the free form expression of how I felt without having any kind of touch points or just off the top of my brain, I thought that might be a really good video to make. The next video, I'm pretty excited about the next one. It was suggested to me by a long-term viewer of this channel. Everyone remembers, I think everyone remembers, show your wife this video or show this video to your wife. And it was me explaining XRP and helping all of my audience show their significant others why you're so excited. I think it's time for another one. I think it's time for part 2, show this to your wife again to explain why we're still here and why, even though nothing has moved, that we're still here and how we need to be supported in this because it's tough, right? Seeing the prices go up and drop right back down is tough on us. And I want to kind of explain our side. There'll be more nuanced information in there, more knowledge because more time has gone by and I've absorbed more information. And so I will urge you in that video to send it to your wife again. Thank you very much for your time and patience and your comments below, for subscribing and sharing it with all of your friends. Stay emotionless and I'll see you in the next one.